All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I'm going to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. Say, Barakate Yahweh, Barakate Yahushai, Barakate Yahweh, Barakate Yahushai, Barakate Yahweh, Barakate Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump right into this lesson. This is titled Babylon is divided. America is divided, has never been so divided. The end is on the way. The end is coming. Something on those lines. I'll see how the Spirit has it. But let's jump right into this video. This is from Full Spectrum Survival. I watch him quite a bit just to get some news updates. And I was watching this particular video last night, and he said something. Because the Spirit is taught. That's why the scriptures tell you in Habakkuk, though it tarry, wait for it. It shall surely come. It shall not tarry. And then Yahweh Shah said it the best. He says that if you can discern the weather, you can discern the coming of the Son of Man. These things are happening. This is not the average person that's not stewardess in the Bible wouldn't know what's going on. That's why these Christians are coming against us, because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. All right. There's nothing worse than knowing your number wasn't picked, or you didn't hit the lotto, or you didn't hit the number. You're feeling salty. All right. So instead of coming down and being humble, they're rebelling against the inevitable. That we have the truth. We have the Spirit of Yahweh Shai has given us the gospel, the true gospel. This has not been tainted, because these Christians don't know. If you don't look to the whole story and the whole book, that the gospel that you have today has been tainted. It's been manipulated. But that's the Lord, through even David said it. Let their table become a snare. So how would that be fulfilled if the table is representing the scriptures, representing the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding? The Lord said, let their table become a snare. So they're not going to be able to discern what's going on, especially you Israelites. All right, because who's coming against this truth the most is Jakes, that it fell out, because it says many are called, but few are chosen. So there's going to be a lot of call going out, but not everybody's chosen. Going back to the 5 virgins, 5 are wise, 5 are foolish. It says there was a cry made, okay, but the foolish virgins took no oil, so they can't trim their lamps. We're in a time where the Lord is calling, but if you don't have no oil in your lamp to reignite it, then you're not going to be able to have that vision. Because what does a lamp represent? It represents to see in the darkness. If it's all dark, that means you won't be able to see. You'll grope. That's why it says they'll grope at noonday. But the main point is that you won't be able to see in the dark. But the wise virgins that has put oil and took extra oil with them, because all our lamps went out. What does the lamps going out represent? That means us going in the spirit world, coming back, losing who we are, okay, going into slavery, all right, being dispersed around the planet Earth, and then coming to Babylon. And then the call went out. And when did that call go out? By the man named Abba Bivens. That's why when we believe that he is John the Baptist coming back, okay, and Elijah. He said that I am a voice in the wilderness making the way straight. And what makes the way straight? What represents making the way straight? Seeing the path, okay? Organizing, getting it ready for the king to come. And the same thing now, John the Baptist did that as the man named Abba Bivens, okay, which we believe is Elijah coming back in the reincarnation, if you can see it. So he made the way straight for this truth to now the Spirit of Yahweh Shai, because he said, I shall be with thee unto the ends of the earth. Okay, and it says faith cometh by hearing. So Yahweh Shai is with us in the Spirit and is the one guiding us. Same thing that was guiding Paul, okay, because the Spirit and the scriptures say you have the mind of Yahweh Shai, okay? And I'll get those precepts. I'm just quoting them. But I want you to listen to what this guy says. He says something biblical. He doesn't even realize it, all right? Because the scriptures is speaking in these last days. These are the times of prophecy, all right? So listen close. This is fair use. Fair use is for educational purposes only, not for no monetary gain. So let's listen.
Destruction. The USA has never, ever been so torn apart. We have never been so divided as a population. We have never hated our families as much as we do right now. Apart. We have never been so divided as a population. We have never hated our families. Never, ever been so torn apart. We have never been so divided as a population.
See that? And that's what you see taking place now. This is the precept, okay? To show you we filter everything through the scriptures. This is Mark 3 and verse 25. It says, NLT, similar, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. A family splintered by feuding will fall apart. NLT, if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So this is the culminating of the falling of Babylon the Great. Because what it happened to us, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. That was a house divided against itself. Okay, that was a house divided against itself, and we fell. Okay, you had the Assyrian captivity, and then you had the Babylonian captivity, going back to Shalmaneser. All right, you have the northern tribe that was separated, and they went into slavery, and then came to the Americas, which was all set up in the spirit. And then you had the Judites, all right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that went into the Babylonian captivity. So we were separated and we were split. We were a house divided against itself, and we did not stand. So what makes you think now that you're gonna have the wicked do the same thing but not suffer the consequences? Just like gravity. Gravity don't discern between good and evil. It is what it is. So the same thing with this. What it's saying here, if you're divided against yourself, it's inevitable that you will fall. So it's only a matter of time before the cataclysm happens, man. All right, but we know that this is the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua for the shedding of the blood of the children of Israel, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are spread out through the four corners of the planet Earth. Okay? So that's what you see, and then let's go ahead and pull some articles. It says, hold on, let me pull this one right here. Hold on, I had one. Here. Let's see here. It says, nation brace for weekend of widespread no kings anti-Trump administration protest. What to know about No King's Day protest across U.S. to counter Trump's military parade. Millions of U.S. expected to join No King's protest against Trump. And we know that this is the king of Babylon, okay? So this place is divided on all lines. Democrat, Republican, conservative, all these liberals, it's all division. That's what it says, division. He said he's going to put the Egyptian against the Egyptian because some of these people are illegal, but they voted for Trump because they thought they were going to get that good deal. But that deal was not, because this man is not moving on his own accord. He's moving in the ways of the elite. That dark hand that is moving this thing around the goalpost is moving these pieces, okay? Because they're funded in the darkness, and they're funding these guys. That's why they get blackmail. There's certain things called blackmail. If they can't buy you, they'll blackmail you, because they'll threaten you with imminent imprisonment, losing everything that you have, going into jail. They're gonna convict you. You know, you're gonna be separated from your family. All those things you see it in movies all the time, man. All right, when they have that leverage over you, they can squeeze you and make you do things that you don't want to do necessarily, but you value your life, especially if you've been raised with a silver spoon in your mouth and you never tasted hardships. Now you have the looming, and this guy had 30-some felonies. Where they go? What happened to them? How are you skating out here with that many felonies where men get locked up for one? So this is not a good thing that you see happening right now, because this is a culminating in the Lord putting a curse. These are the curses right here. Brother shall hate brother. These are the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay, and if you read Deuteronomy 30th chapter, it shows you that the Lord is going to put these curses on our enemies for the things that they did. So we're witnessing it now. They're showing you the Lord is in the midst, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is acting on the behalf of his elect. And then that's going to transpire unto the nation of Israel, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But the Lord is dealing with the elect now. Then he's going to deal with the rest of the nation. And it says, new NYPD brace for anti-Trump No King's Day mass protest. And the list goes on and on. You've read. If you've been paying attention to the news, you know what's going on. All right, but I wanted to pull that so we can pull this. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 32. And it says, and in that wonderful day when the Lord gives his people rest, that's why it says, come and rest with us. Why is it saying come and rest with us? Come and rest in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. What did David say? David said, until I entered into the house of the Lord, I knew their end. So that's what we're telling you now. If you rest with this truth, you just waiting. We're waiting. We know that it's already been weighed. It's already been put into the balance. Esau's been found wanting. He's not going to escape. We know who the Edomites are. And we know who Babylon is. We know who the children of Israel are. These are the secrets that were sealed, that Yahweh Shah unlocked. Okay, that he's giving to his men, starting with the apostles and elders, starting with their elders, going back to the man Abba Bivens. These are the secrets that were given to us to unlock, because it says faith cometh by hearing. And faith is the ultimate gasolina. Okay? Once that faith hit that fire, it's over with. Because I showed that video with hope. The Lord gave us hope. That's the most powerful. Esau can't take away hope. He can affect it. He can do it. But if you have hope in your heart, then you can do things, man. You can go through certain hardships. You can take on certain burdens if you have that hope. So we have that hope through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and we have that faith. That's why it says, he that endureth until the end, the same shall be saved. So there's no taking away that hope from the elect. Okay? That's why it says, if it be possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And it says, in that wonderful day when the Lord gives his people rest, not the world rest, from sorrow and fear, going into the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from slavery and chains. That's why it says, free the captives. Okay? Free the captives. It says, the prisoner hope to be loosed, that he shall not die in the pit. Okay? It says, you will taunt the king of Babylon. And how we taunting him? Through the scriptures, through the truth, through the internet, the web, the World Wide Web. Okay? It says, you will taunt the king of Babylon. You will say, the mighty man has been destroyed. Yes, your insolence has ended. That means we're telling Babylon, your rulership you're done, son. You're done. All right, you've been weighed, you've been found wanting, man. You're light, man. You're light, you're short. You came short, okay? Your insolence is ended, for the Lord has crushed your wicked power and broken your evil rule. And that's the mentality. It ain't worried about all of everybody, he's worried about the elect. Because once those men are woken up, the Lord is going to judge. You don't care about the remaining balance. That's why it says they're a drop that falleth from a bucket. The Lord ain't worried about the masses. He's worried about quality, not quantity. That's why the Lord shows you the most rarest things in the earth you have to dig for. And it's not rare. That's why it's called rare metals, because it's rare. Okay, the elect is a rare metal, the gold and silver. The Lord has mined it through the earth, through the people. Okay, they're living minerals. Okay, they're living gold, living silver. It says, broken the evil rule. The Lord has crushed your wicked power and broken your evil rule. You struck the people with an endless blow and of rage. That's what these Edomites, because they're insecure. Esau is the most insecure nation on the planet Earth, going to the wicked and the dark hand. That's why they try to control everything, because they're so scared of what's coming that they're bringing it upon themselves. They're insecure. They're not confident. What military are we building up? We ain't building up no guns. We ain't saving up cans of soup. You might have something in the pantry. Don't get it twisted. You might have a couple little provisions, but we're not doing it like these elites. We ain't digging into hell. We're not digging bunkers. We're not trying to control every damn body, try to control people's minds and use chemicals and all these. It says he does a diligent search in wickedness, man. You struck the people, namely the Israelites, with the endless blow of rage and held the nations in your angry grip. That's why Jeremiah 51, it also says that how is the hammer of the earth cut asunder? So the Esau is being broken. He's being found out. He's being turned out. The Lord is turning this man into, he's pulling back his foreskin. He's embarrassing him before he starts judging him for real, man. Just like somebody that's a fighter and you have the opponent pretty much beat, you start toying with him. You start, just like Ali. What did he say? He say my name, say my name. Okay, so the Lord is making this man say his name. It says, and held the nations in your angry grip with unrelenting tyranny. And that's why I showed that video. It says the world hates America. They hate it because it's not trustworthy. They want to love America, but they can't. Just like this is a toxic relationship. The world has agreed that Babylon, the whore, is a toxic relationship. Just like if you deal with a promiscuous woman, that's very, especially a woman of the night, they're toxic. They've been through so much. They've seen things. They're not a good wholesome woman. They got a lot of baggage, man. Okay. But finally, the earth is at rest and quiet. Now it shall sing again. And that we're waiting on that now. Okay. Even the trees and the forests and cypress trees and the cedars of Lebanon sing this joyous song. Okay. And we're seeing it now. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is pulling this man down to the ground. He's making him, see that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to judge. And we even got Missouri. Governor Mike Kehoe activates National Guard, declares state of emergency. And now I'm in Missouri. So this thing is popping, man. All right. So I just want to bring that information out. Just a real quick sit down. Brothers have been paying attention. Look into it. There's going to be protests around the country. All right. And we could see what's going to happen. Lord willing, something takes place. But with that, I say, call Allah Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Echak. Until next time, I say Shalom. And more on out and never keep faith. Shalom.